What's good? So I'm watching Axe Torson. He's a YouTuber, if you don't know it, and he's going over a trip, $2.26 for 12 miles to deliver some food to somebody. So between pickup and drop off, 12 miles. This is sick right here, $2.26 for 12 miles. But what Torson is saying is shame on Derek Costashawi, however you pronounce his last name, that he's sending these type of trips to drivers. It doesn't make any sense. It's not profitable. People are not going to make money. Problem I have with the video is that Torsten says that he deactivates drivers for having a low acceptance rate. That Uber deactivates drivers for a low acceptance rate. If you type into Google, can Uber deactivate you for a low acceptance rate? It says no. Uber typically does not deactivate drivers' accounts solely for a low acceptance rate. Okay, so we're independent contractors, meaning it's up to us to choose the rides or deliveries based off of what we feel is profitable. So if you have a low acceptance rate, say 1%, even negative, you will not be deactivated solely for that. Your cancellation rate, now you could be deactivated for canceling all the time and going over a certain percentage, but you won't be deactivated for not accepting a ride or a food delivery. None of the apps can deactivate you for not accepting something. They can only deactivate you for canceling trips. Now, it's been a long time since I've done any Uber, but it does say exclusive here. I don't believe that it always says exclusive, and exclusive may just mean that there is a hidden tip, which, even if it's a hidden tip, we still need to know exactly how much that trip is going to pay off. It may possibly say exclusive because the customer did tip, but this particular customer may always take tips back because on Uber you can take the tip back. I think they give you up to an hour or something like that, and you can take the tip back. So let's just say if this particular customer does generally take tips back, then them saying that it's exclusive is letting the driver know that there's a tip on it, but they're not showing it just so that you don't end up getting your hopes up. But at the same time, drivers can always look here and it says included, including expected tip. So that basically is saying that this person doesn't tip to the driver. But at the same time, I don't think that Derek Costa should be ashamed of sending people a request like this, because at the end of the day, it's up to you whether you want to choose to accept it or not accept it. What Derek Khosrowshahi should be ashamed of, as well as these other apps, is that you're not telling the customer that drivers are not paid by the hour, that the drivers are not paid for miles, compensation for gas, any maintenance to the vehicle. They're not compensated for any of this. So your order may not be delivered. That's what they're not telling people. As far as them sending the request out to drivers, it is what it is. But the problem with a lot of these orders is that, say for instance, this customer only ordered a cheeseburger or only ordered a drink and everything. The customer doesn't know that Uber sent it to a McDonald's that was 12 miles away from them. Usually Uber will send the restaurant nearest to the drivers in that particular area. So instead of sending the order to a McDonald's closer to the customer, it may get sent to a McDonald's that's a little bit further out. So drivers will accept it. But in this particular case, why accept something that is so low? You don't know if somebody's kids have ordered the food or if somebody has spent their last little money to order the food. And so at the end of the day, why would you take it not knowing if you're going to be paid? You could get a cash tip, but again, the tip may be based off of how close that restaurant is to the customer, because the customer may be like, oh, you know what, the restaurant's right around the corner for me, so I'm not gonna tip. That's still stupid because you don't know where the driver is. The driver doesn't work at the restaurant. They may not be at the restaurant. So to say, okay, well, I'm not going to pay the driver, it's not a tip, it's paying the driver. I'm not going to pay the driver because restaurants less than, half a mile away from me or something, that is completely ignorant. But again, I'm not understanding why Torsen is saying that, they're using fear to get drivers to accept stuff, by threatening them. If you have a low acceptance rate, you're going to be deactivated. They can't deactivate you, and Torsen knows this. He's been doing this stuff for years. He knows you can't be deactivated for a low acceptance rate. You can be negative, and you're still not going to be deactivated. Cancellation rate, incompletion rate, things like that, those are things that will get you deactivated. Appreciate you. Please like, share, and subscribe.